Hey guys, what's going on? Brandon Joan Brown here, physical therapist and wellness coach with Get Your Fix Physical Therapy, Get Your Fix Nutrition, CrossFit coach at CrossFit Majestic, and I help CrossFitters get from injury to PR in 8 to 12 weeks. Continuing on the shoulder series, shoulder pain series that I'm doing, wanted to get into today why you feel a click at times in the shoulder area. And there can be a couple of reasons that cause that click. It depends on where the click is coming from location-wise, but there's a couple different locations it can be. So when you come up overhead, a couple things have to happen. Your collarbone that sits here has a joint at your sternum and has a joint on the shoulder blade. And as you lift up your arm or move your arm, it has to move a little bit in those two areas. Along with that, as you move your arm, your shoulder blade has to move, and you also go into a little bit of extension in there. So there's another area that we can get movement. And then finally, that shoulder joint also has to move as well naturally. So in any area that bones meet, touch, overlap, anything like that, we can get an incongruency in those areas, and it can cause some clicking. So very rarely will you get any clicking at where your collarbone meets here, but where your collarbone meets at that shoulder blade, that is a very likely area to get some clicking. Because of how everything has to move properly at this area especially, that's why we can get some of that clicking in there. If muscles are kind of binding things down, or the other common reason, one is either the collarbone or the shoulder blade. One is moving well, one isn't. Most often, it's usually that shoulder blade that's not moving well, so as you're coming up, you're just getting a little bit of an improper motion in there. Another reason is sometimes your ribs can be out of place a little bit. Because of how that shoulder blade sits on your rib cage, just a couple millimeters of being what I call posterior, so being kind of pushed back, can cause a little bit of a click of that shoulder blade as it moves over that rib cage. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something that you usually want to get addressed. And there's some simple techniques that as therapists or chiropractors that we can use in order to get that rib back in where it needs to be and then work on stabilizing it there. The other thing that can happen is that shoulder can, the mechanics in the actual shoulder joint itself can get a little bit off. So as you're coming up overhead, it has to glide down just a little bit the way that shoulder works. So if it doesn't have, if things are tight in there and it's not gliding right, then it can kind of bump up on things, or it can cause a little bit of an irritation, a movement in places that it shouldn't. Excuse me. So those are the most likely causes if you're getting a click in that shoulder area. Now, like I said, with the rib, that normally takes someone to kind of manipulate it back into place. The other problems are typically due to stiffness, tightness, that sort of thing. So it may be something that will go away with some of the exercises I'm going to be showing you in the rest of the series, or it may be something that needs a little bit further assistance by an outside person, therapist, chiropractor, of something of the sort, excuse me, itchy nose, in order to really address it. So, but we'll definitely get into that going forward with the different exercises. If you have any questions regarding anything I've talked about here, definitely post those on here. If you are dealing with something like this and have questions, definitely post those on here. And I'd love to just hear any feedback of comments that you have if you have watched this. So leave any of those comments here below as well. And as usual, if you have anything specific you want to ask me about, feel free to reach out to me directly through Facebook Messenger. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. So hope you're having a great Thursday so far. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.